Is there anything else that the label data gives to that ground other than that pre-information element? Does it presuppose like any specific rules or structure or
No,
properties or anything like that?
no. Apart from, of course, the connection with logic. For me, data and logic are intertwined in an inextricable way, so that you can't have data without logic and you can't have logic without data. The same way as you can't have substance without structure. There's no such thing as a structureless substance. Like, that's just not a thing. And similarly, you can't have a substanceless structure. You can't have structure that doesn't inhere in something. Again, it's just not a sensible idea. So apart from the non-contingency and the uninterpreted information, there's the notion of its necessary connection, and that's part of the idea is that even that talk is enthralled to that idea of the ubiquity of logic, because the very idea of connection is essentially, what I identify logic with. So consistent relational structure, relations, relativity. That's, I think, the essence of logic, is the notion of connections between things, and yeah, the necessity of a context, of a foreground and a background, the necessity of there being consistency and regularity and, yeah, a form to the way that things are. Things don't just exist in kind of an amorphous blob. There's a definitive nature to the way that things are. And that's how I would identify logic.
Would logic then be akin to having kind of dimensionality in some sense, or like time and space, for example?
Yeah, I think dimensionality and especially time and space are like specific types of logic. They're specific structural paradigms, I suppose. I think the most basic types of logic would be the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, the principle of sufficient reason. These, to me, are the most fundamental constraints, and that looms large, I guess, in the derivation of specificity part of the model, because I see those laws as being a sort of constitutive of the nature of reality, sort of written in at the most fundamental level, I guess, as principles that dictate what forms reality can take.